we have guests from the United States, so I was requested if I could speak in English. I nosebleed po ito. The three readings, of course, have been chosen by our church, by the Catholic Church, through its liturgists, to give us a kind of not only idea in terms of knowledge, but actually a lesson, a kind of teaching, a kind of doctrine. Why? Because a mystery, unless it is revealed, we will not be able to discover by our own intelligence. It has to be taught. Otherwise, we can never comprehend or recognize the truth about this. So if somebody would read this without faith, because revelation necessitates faith, they would look at this as a fiction story, especially when Daniel speaks of seemingly a son of man going up on a cloud and being enthroned. Actually, movies have used these images. A lot of fiction stories might have employed also this way of, this language rather, of narrating something that they'd like the readers to have a very, you could say, graphic imagination of the scene they wanted to depict for the reader to grasp. First and foremost, Daniel would say, as the visions during the night continued. So we have in the Old Testament, in the book of Daniel, this description of someone receiving from the Ancient One. That's a technical term. Ancient One is not an old one, but the one from the ancient, from the times of the beginnings. And he was presented to receive all dominion, glory, and kingship for all peoples, nations, and languages. This kingship to the three witnesses that Jesus, human, is not just human. There's a voice from the cloud, from heaven, and it speaks of a son. So what could we say about this? It's quite different from Daniel. Daniel is a vision. He was given a dream in the night. But this one is reality. It was an experience. They were there, awake and aware. And they saw this particular experience of transfiguration. The Jesus they knew as a Jesus of Nazareth is someone speaking with the ancient ones, and even the voice from the ancient one. So he is related to something beyond this world. And with that, one could ask, what did they talk about? Jesus, Elijah, and Moses. So Matthew would tell you, ano? What would Matthew tell you? Secret. But you know, Luke was a, eavesdropper. They were talking about his passing on, his death that will happen in Jerusalem. Oh, what did really happen to Jesus? When Jesus saw the purpose of his life was to pass on, to die, that is, in Jerusalem, on the cross. he was transfigured. What do you mean? Okay to This is what I will be. My mission is this. Wonderful. Wonderful. Why? Because of this vision or this understanding of his mission, he realized the real purpose why he was sent. I was sent to give my life for all. And that is the glory of the Father. And I am so happy to do it. I am very much willing to accept this mission. I will do it. I will be committed to it. That's why in the version of Luke, chapter 9, verse 52, he determined to go to Jerusalem. Here, he said it like this: do not tell anyone of what you have experienced until after the Son of Man has been raised from the dead. Wow, connect. The Son of Man that looked like in Daniel, he's now the Son of Man. And what will be the Son of Man in Daniel after he died? Very true. He will receive from the Ancient One the power. He will be presented before him, who will receive dominion, glory, and kingship. All peoples, nations, and languages serve him. His dominion is everlasting. It will not be taken away. His kingship shall not be destroyed. With that technical word, Son of Man, in Daniel, the church says, connect. This is connectivity of the two. And so Jesus not only learned about his impending death on the cross, his giving of his life for the benefit of all, but rather, he would also receive from the Father the signature that indeed this is the mission, and for which it is also his participation in the glory of God, of the divine. He accepted this completely. And because of this, brothers and sisters, we can say in the second reading, we do not follow cleverly devised myths. Oh, this is Peter, one of the witnesses. When we make known to you the power and the coming of the Lord Jesus Christ, we had been witnesses of his majesty. For he received honor and glory from God the Father when the unique declaration came to him from that majestic glory, "This is my Son, my beloved, with whom I'm well pleased." Oh, copy and paste to Diba? Exactly Matthew. Tapos ngayon, letter of Peter. Of course, which of the two is earlier? Peter's letter, of course, before he died. So he wrote this. And this is the copy pasted by Matthew. "This is my Son, my beloved, with whom I'm well pleased." We ourselves heard this voice from heaven while we were with him in the holy mountain. Moreover, we possess that prophetic message that this is altogether reliable. You will be all attentive. Well, you will do well to be attentive to this. As a lamp shining in a dark place. Oh, is that not true today? Are we not in a dark place? Are we not in a moment of distress, trials, and tribulations? And the future is unknown to us. We don't know really the tomorrow. But what we know is that it's part of a process. What's the process? You undergo the darkness and the troubles of life, but you undergo it with a light right in front of you in a vision, and say, not only will this pass, but the light is, even in this time, I can serve. I'm willing to serve. I'm willing to die for the good of others. That's why I'm so happy of last Monday in our 52-week project when this doctor, including his wife, testified. Dr. Lito Sakilayan of Rizal Medical Center and his wife, who stood by him, who stayed in the hospital all of those days when he had COVID, did not leave him. Imagine, I was thinking that their 4 children could have become orphan in just that time if they both died. But no, the wife said, this is my duty. I, I promise this because the youngest daughter told Mama, why don't you come home? That's very dangerous. And the mother says, your daddy is sick. I'm supposed to be with him. And the daughter said, Mama, is that the meaning of in sickness or in health? And Blessy said to us in public, I did not realize my daughter, 17-year-old, can comprehend the covenant of marriage. What a witness. The willingness in this most trying time to face death, because that will be a form of service. And today, of course, they were healed by God's grace, no? And Doc Lito is just waiting to have his retirement. But beyond that time of willing to say, I will not be as exposed every day that he comes from Rizal Medical Center because he is the medical director, his shoes cannot enter the house. He has to shed his clothes in the garage, take a shower outside before he could enter the premises. The most exposed among the group of 6. You know, every day, the tedious process, because he is willing to serve. He told us, Father, I'm not here to serve the sick only. I'm here to encourage the frontliners. Out of his frontliners, 85 are in home quarantine because they are also infected. And 14 are in a different facility. Imagine, 99 of your frontliners in a government hospital are sick. And by the way, he told them, kasi kayo became complacent, you started to eat without social distancing. That's where you got it, not with the patients. The patients, you are well shielded, but eating with each other, that's a different thing. Anyway, what I'm saying is that, you know, to this day, what St. Peter said, this is the lamp in the darkness. The transfiguration is an indication of who we could be. And so why do I say now, why should we be transformed? Kasi essentially, we are survival instinct. Ang ating una pong tawag nila, knee-jerk reaction sa danger is to hold my self-preservation. That's instinctual. We have to be transformed. I believe. Instead of fear that should come into our hearts, we have to be prudent. We have not to be stupid or naive, but we must take risks if it is a call of service. If it is a call, part of what God has given us as a mission, we must be ready. We must be ready. So, brothers and sisters, the transformation of our hearts to become more divine and not just remain human is possible and real. Yes, by God's grace, but also from our birth, we were made in the image and likeness of God. We can become like Him. We have to believe in that. As I said, it is a doctrine to be taught because it cannot be discovered. We will not see. But once you do something transcending beyond your capacity, you know what you'd feel? A sense of nobility, a feel of your human dignity. and above all, a sense of peace. Nag-connect po ang purpose of life natin with our experience. Ano nag-connect doon? Like Jesus. We'll end up in awe. We'll end up in this parang glorified existence of saying, pwede pala, hindi pala imposible to become like God. That has been the constant experience of Mother Teresa of Calcutta. I'm telling you, it's the experience of Pope Francis. Every time he kisses, even the face of a man full of warts, washes the feet of a Muslim, of a drug addict. Whenever he touches somebody that is sickly and gives him comfort, the Holy Father, Pope Francis, has said so many transformative experiences. Why? He became what he is, truly an image, a likeness of God. We can be the same.